Good afternoon. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, June 4th, 2026. The base of the Spanish troops in Lebanon is under attack. There has been an attack. A Serbian soldier has died, and 2 Spanish soldiers are wounded. That's right. We've been reporting this for several weeks. 5 days ago, Military Strategies had the exclusive. Spanish troops are in the middle of a war, caught in crossfire. Today, unfortunately, the news is confirmed. Family, your likes, your comments, let's begin. Good afternoon, family. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now. It's 3:27. It's from Spain. For the world. Telling what's happening. Our armed forces. Alta. A una facie ido a otros dos. Which, unfortunately, have suffered an attack by Hezbollah. A una faciore. Otros dos, where Hezbollah has killed 2 Spanish soldiers are wounded right now in a military base in the middle of southern Lebanon, abandoned to their fate by the Spanish government. What you are hearing, this program is going to be a turning point. You can't miss it, because all the information we're going to give is vital to understand how these miserable people in the government of Spain abandoned the best of Spain in the middle of a war. The best men and women in the middle of a war that doesn't concern them, that they shouldn't be there. That it means an economic cost and a loss of lives of significant, incalculable value. The UNIFIL mission is a failure. It ends at the end of the year. Sapiñados dentro de un búnker. Why can't the soldiers be brought home already when there's a damn war going on there? Why do they have to be 24/7? Why does this creature, called the Minister of Defense, put our troops in danger? You're going to be shocked by what we have for you today. And I'm fired up. Today's mission. And I'm fired up. I'm really fired up about this issue. But folks, it's super important because of the immeasurable censorship. UNIFIL failure of the year, creature, danger. Why not? What is she up to? The voice of these soldiers who are there right now and can't speak because of military censorship to be heard. I have been heard. I have received calls this morning. The situation is serious. Hezbollah has been attacking the Miguel de Cervantes base in Lebanon with mortars. 2 soldiers wounded. How long will this go on? How far are we willing to go? Thank you. So, that they have a headline to escape from the corruption and crimes hounding them. How far? This is not something I made up. Ithonatha. I published this 5 days ago. No media outlet, no political party did anything to stop this. I'm going to put it up. I'm going to show it. Here we go. With evidence. There's nothing we say that doesn't have proof. We said it live. We said it on Twitter. Nobody believed us. And the usual fools, always laughing at what we post. All right, well now, take it. For you all. May 30th, 3:25 in the early morning. I received a message from Lebanon. Strategies. We are surrounded. And listening to the fighting outside the base. Thank you. Strategies, go to Twitter. The Spanish UNIFIL troops are surrounded amid the fighting between Hezbollah and Israel. No media outlet is reporting it, but the situation at the Miguel de Cervantes base is critical. May 30th, 2026, the day before it was already being announced. We had even seen it on the map. But there's more. What the hell is UNIFIL doing there? Let's do a recap. Over the last 3 years, what has happened there? Beirut, UNIFIL cars.
It's very intense. The Wuhan police are in the plane's path.
Very intense, very intense.
When the UN and UNIFIL cars go to the airport, they pass near Dacia. They burn them. They attack the UNIFIL soldiers with Hezbollah flags.
No, no, no! Translation by Nancy Concar. Subtitles created by...
This is already degrading. A UNIFIL vehicle, and look at what happens. They puncture its tires. They puncture its tires and put the Hezbollah flag on the UNIFIL vehicles. Stop them in the middle of the road. This is the entrance to the Dacia neighborhood. They launch rockets from the China base. Next to the China base. Look over there. Hezbollah fires rockets as the Chinese record, asking Israel to please not shoot back. Attacking soldiers.
Do it! To UNIFIL! Hooray!
These morons are the ones we're going to help. We're going there to help. Now, the Lebanese army, well, that's for later. The Lebanese army, now that Israel is withdrawing from some areas, is opening the roads for them so they can move around safely and freely. So there won't be any problem. But what kind of disgrace is this? What kind of disgrace is this? Lebanese army soldiers clearing the way for him. But there are things that are even more disgusting within this story. I said I'm fired up. Estragias said this. What did they say? What did the government of Spain say today? The government of Spain first put out a post that was pathetic. Pathetic. That was disgusting. Scandalous. Condemning the incident. They call it an incident. Since it's so scandalous, I retweeted it and asked them if they're not ashamed. What has the Ministry of Foreign Affairs done about this? But what did they publish afterwards? Spain condemns. Absolutely. The recent attacks against the UNIFIL contingent at the Spanish base Miguel de Cervantes, which have resulted in the death of a Serbian peacekeeper and several soldiers wounded, including a Spanish soldier. One? Are you sure it was one? Maybe you should learn to count better. Ministry, I think you're missing a few marbles. Spain condemns. Who? Who is responsible? They haven't come out to say who attacked the Spanish base. What? Notice the difference. Let's play it back. The Spanish army condemns the bombings by the Israeli army against Beirut and other areas of the country, as well as repeated attacks on UNIFIL positions. Let's continue. This is going to get more interesting. The Spanish government reiterates its strong condemnation of the new Israeli attacks today on the UNIFIL headquarters in Naqoura, which have injured 2 more peacekeepers. Israel, right? Very well. The government of Spain strongly condemns the Israeli gunfire. Spain strongly condemns the latest attacks against the UNIFIL contingent, which have resulted in the death of 3 Indonesian soldiers, and extends its condolences to their families and loved ones, as well as to the government and people of Indonesia. Let's continue. The government condemns the attack on a UNIFIL vehicle that left UNIFIL's deputy commander injured. Let's see if you start noticing a small but important detail. A little more. What's the difference? What's the difference in the story? This is the difference. Israel. The mortar fire at the Miguel de Cervantes base in Lebanon came from Hezbollah. Hezbollah fired. And when Hezbollah fires, when Hezbollah attacks, the Spanish soldiers, UNIFIL, the United Nations, the Spanish government doesn't have the guts to write Hezbollah. They don't have it because they're cowards. That's the difference. That's where the difference is. Enough already! It's tremendous. Profoundly indeed, condemning Hezbollah. They won't stop until there are soldiers. They won't stop. How outrageous. What absolute madness. Who would think of sending soldiers into the middle of a war? Spain. The thing is, the Spaniards are in the most dangerous part of the whole mess. Out of this whole drama, the Spaniards are in the most dangerous area. But anyway, they even try to run them over.
Stop making me leave!
But it's truly a shame. They surround and humiliate them. And they have to be afraid all day long. There's more. I'd already been reporting this for a long time. Hezbollah installs the ATMs of its bank near the UNIFIL bases so that the soldiers go there to withdraw money. So who profits from this? Who is it for? Who gets the profit? The Minister of Defense has appeared. Has she shown up or said anything? Let's see if the Minister of Defense has made any statement. Yes. They have, yeah. We fully support our soldiers in the UNIFIL mission in Lebanon after last night's attack and stand in solidarity with the Serbian contingent. Will you finally condemn Hezbollah? Thanks. Do you want to stop sending soldiers where they shouldn't be? Our soldiers are here to defend Spain, to protect our borders. Will you stop making a fool of yourselves? Thank you. No one has come out. No one has come out. Why would he come out? Then she does come out to say this. Don't miss it. The Minister of Defense, Mama Smurf, Mama Duck comes out to say this.
That Europe has to reflect. Europe has to change. And I say it here, no, believe me, not as the Minister of Defense. When I see, for example, in the White House office, and I see a chancellor from a certain country, like we saw Zelensky at the time, staying silent about something, it's very tough. I can't accept, as a Spaniard, that President Trump...
As a Spaniard, I can't accept that President Trump...
A president elected by the American people, a country, the United States, with whom we have many ties, a country we appreciate, we care about, and with whom we have many ties. And that he can, like he did the other day, speak with such contempt about Spain and the Spanish government.
And the government's and Ministry of Defense's contempt for soldiers in Lebanon. With the soldiers who are in Ceuta and Melilla, with the soldiers who are in the Canary Islands, Duck Lips. How do we do that, little guys? Thank you. The thing is, here, besides money, because there's a lot of money, it's about, of course, if they attack the base, if Israel drops the bomb, we've already got the front page. For the government, it's great. We've already got the front page. Mama Duck goes out to give press conferences and make statements. But Mama Duckling, why do I call you that? It's because of this photo. It's not for any other reason. I've never seen anything like this. Look, I just came back from patrolling with the Minister of Defense of El Salvador, and this has nothing to do with that. No. It has nothing to do with it. They're different things. I haven't seen the Minister of Defense carrying a rifle or patrolling anywhere. No, I haven't seen it. I want my country's Minister of Defense to at least know something about defense. She doesn't have it. They put her there because no one else was available. Mama Patito with her bulletproof vest. All right, let's go. Mama Patito. Here she has trouble saying Hezbollah has done what it has done. She has trouble saying it. They break out in scales. It's like an allergy the government gets when Hezbollah attacks UNIFIL. The government just reacts that way. And it's tremendous. It's horrible, horrible, and tremendous. Also horrible and tremendous. Let's see where this has happened. Let's calm down a bit. Well, let's send all our support and hugs to the entire Spanish contingent. They do an incredible job there with the conditions they have, with the resources they have, and with the limitations they're given. Incredible work, but you shouldn't have to be there. That's clear, just like that. Let's go to the map. For those who are new here, Spain has a mega military base in the south of Lebanon. Miguel de Cervantes. If Miguel de Cervantes were to rise from the grave and saw how the Spanish soldiers are there, the Battle of Lepanto would seem like a picnic. Here we are. The Spanish base, the base. I'm not going to mark where the bunker is because I know where it is, but I'm not going to mark it, so there won't be any problems. There are a number of shelters and a bunker. The soldiers are inside there. There is an annex. This one we see here, no. The entire base area is the zone we see. Holography is in a lower area, but with elevations above the rest. The valley is here. The base is in elevated areas, but there are other elevated areas much closer. This one, for example. Do you remember what military strategy I mentioned just now? 2 days. Israel has taken Beaufort, and now Israel has to advance further north. And I would mark this area and say Israel has to advance up to here. It has to take this sector that we're seeing here to have total control over the Zarani and over the Litani. No sooner Hezbollah has placed mortars in this area. They fired. That's right, the mortars at the Spanish base. And there's no room for error. It was a deliberate attack. 6 kilometers away, 7 kilometers. The wind didn't just carry the mortar to the Spanish base and make it land there. No, sir. They attacked the base on purpose. For whatever reason, I don't know why. Something must have happened. Something must have happened. They must have gotten angry because some deal was signed, or because someone lost their mind and they decided to fire mortars at Spain. It's that simple. Does anyone have any doubts? Does anyone believe this is a coincidence? No, it's definitely not. It's not something accidental, because they'll always say it's an accident, that it was accidental. No, it's not accidental when they fire a mortar round at you. They fire mortars because they know what's happening. Why are they firing them there? Because of the Israeli troops. They are operating in this sector here. In this one we're looking at. No more, no less. And if Israeli troops are there, and as I was saying on the 30th, Spain was surrounded. Why hasn't the evacuation happened like other countries did for their citizens? Troops to another safe area? Why has Spain left the Spanish troops behind enemy lines and on the front line? Someone at the Ministry of Defense needs to give an explanation. I'm not saying Mama Duck should still do it. Someone, some general, someone has to come out and explain. It wasn't possible. There were no vehicles. The weather was bad. There was a landslide on the road. Or we find a spaceship along the way. I don't care. But someone needs to explain. Why are there Spanish soldiers trapped in the middle of a war? Because it's normal. A Spanish citizen has the right to have it explained to them. what their troops are doing, no more, no less. That's right. And now what do? We keep going like this. Things are going to stay like this. Things are going to stay like this. Something's going to happen. It's going to. Families are cut off right now and can't speak to their loved ones. That area is full of electronic warfare and frequency jammers. The situation with food and water is terrible. It's terrible. They're having a really hard time. In the nearby stalls in the area, Spanish soldiers must patrol while being pushed in posts where there are bed bugs, ticks, and eyes. That's how they treat our soldiers. Spain's best are just left out there, making us do who knows what. We know. Have they stopped the flow of weapons together with the Lebanese army in southern Lebanon? No. Have they made sure that Hezbollah is not south of the Litani River? No. Has the mission achieved any of its objectives? No.
On Monday and Tuesday, we are going to visit our contingent in Marjayoun in Lebanon as part of UNIFIL to thank them for all the effort they are making. Spain is firmly committed. Thank you.
We don't want you to thank them. We want you to bring them home. That's the best thanks you can give to those men and women who are there risking their lives for nothing.
With the United Nations and with Lebanon, Lieutenant General Lazaro is the head of the mission, who in very difficult and complicated times has always been working to achieve peace. At this point in the ceasefire situation, the Spanish military, the Spanish contingent, is helping and supporting the civilian population. The most important message we want to convey is our pride in our Spanish military, our pride. Pride.
Pride, Mornitos. Thank you.
Our work together with UNIFIL to continue maintaining the ceasefire. But
this lady, the only ceasefire she has seen is when the rockets from her town stop. During the festivals.
We believe that UN Resolution 1701 must be implemented.
You think it should be implemented? United Nations, Hezbollah. Thank you. Why not explain it to Hezbollah? You have their number. Call them if you have their number. Thanks.
He will already be firmly committed to Lebanon.
With his own. Doesn't Peter tell Iran not to shoot at the Spanish troops of Hezbollah?
With citizens and with the commitment to peace. And congratulations to our entire Spanish contingent. That's it.
In itself.
They are doing a great job. After last year, when it was a very difficult mission, and many of them, our soldiers, had to spend a lot of time in the bunkers.
Spend 24 hours in the bunkers. He calls it a long time. He says they spend a lot of time in the bunkers. 24 hours. Notice the seriousness of the matter. That there is no evacuation plan. There is no evacuation plan for our soldiers. If today an urgent evacuation were necessary, there is no evacuation plan. But it's not just that. It goes further than that. Given the situation and its seriousness, if someone wants to leave, they can't leave, obviously. He's a soldier. He's under military disciplinary regulations. He can't leave. The question is, if you found yourself right now in a situation like the one our soldiers are in, pushed to the limit, you're surrounded with mortars, rockets, missiles, bombs falling all around you. What goes through your mind? What psychological support is the government of Spain, the Ministry of Defense, giving and going to give to our soldiers who are experiencing a stressful situation in which many will be left with trauma? What's going on? Because this isn't a walk in the park. This is a war. They can't sleep at night. Lack of water for showering. Things that we don't even notice. But for them, they don't exist. Is that clear? It's that clear. The images don't lie. Arsenals everywhere. Anti-tank rockets. How is a UNIFIL soldier who has been sent with a light vehicle and light armor supposed to face an organization that traffics weapons of this caliber? Thank you. How is anyone going to make a soldier dare to think about what could happen next? At night, they could fire mortars at you. They could attack you with a drone. They can do many things. In the end, many people think about all these things. Then an armored vehicle arrives, and you have to face an organization, a car, and all these things, in the end, go through the minds of many people. With weapons of a whole different caliber. It's not my problem or business. I'm here for a different reason. Some people like the army. Others join for economic reasons. You earn a lot during a deployment like this. Others because they've been sent there and it's their mission. They have the obligation to obey orders. But it's not worth it. This isn't worth it. How are things in Lebanon? A ceasefire has been announced as imminent. We don't know if this is it. It's unclear if this is part of the ceasefire or not. This is the Lebanese army already getting ready to go and open the roads for Hezbollah. They're bringing excavators to reopen the crossings over the Litani River so they can move around safely. Es lo primero que aparece. Excavators. There are no armored vehicles to disarm Hezbollah. They first bring excavators to clear the roads. Wouldn't want them to get a sprain from going on dirt roads and for Hezbollah's people to have problems. Problems.
I'm gonna call.
It's stupid. Really, from a logistical point of view, it's stupid. And I'm going to tell you why. Even if they open the roads now, they'll close again in a week because Israel will bomb there again. That's what happened with the Litani River bridges. But what have Israeli troops found near Beaufort? Let's get back to our topic, which is to talk about what Israel is doing over there and how things are going. Hezbollah operatives flee after an attack. They take refuge in a kind of civilian fortress. That's what we're seeing there. What happens next? A tank spots them. It opens fire, corners them, and they call the Air Force.
They wait for them to come out, and then the Air Force moves in.
There they are. The ducklings.
Look at the situation.
Fertilizing the field. Last night. A ceasefire was signed with the United States. In the US, a ceasefire was apparently signed with Hezbollah, but I'm not sure. I just learned the United States fought with Hezbollah. No, it's a ceasefire, so Israel stops pressuring Hezbollah. Naim Qassem has spoken. Heads up. Naim Qassem has spoken. I've said a couple of things. By the way, Hezbollah, breaking news, it just fired 3 missiles. We have the video. Ceasefire. It's a complete ceasefire too. It's Metula. Our friends from Metula don't know what a ceasefire is. It's not. Something you've always been told exists, but you know, it's just a utopia. It's simply a utopia. The ceasefire in Metula is something utopian. It's more likely you'll see a cow flying one of these nights than a ceasefire with Hezbollah. Hello? Mother of God, get ready for the next video. I'm about to show you. Let's see. What does Naim Qassem say? You're going to be amazed. What did he say? United States with Naim Qassem. Why did he say that? As long as Israel is in Lebanon, the resistance will continue. Negotiations with Israel are shameful. Northern Israel won't be safe while our villages are bombed and people killed. This is what they do. And they just signed. They just signed. The leader rejects the results of the direct negotiations between Lebanon and Israel. There's something I don't understand. They met in the United States. The United States, Israel, and Lebanon for a ceasefire in Lebanon. But Israel isn't fighting the Lebanese government. It's fighting Hezbollah. So if they're fighting against Hezbollah, the one they need to talk to is Hezbollah, if they even need to talk at all. Or have they negotiated to let the bulldozers go to southern Lebanon to open roads? We haven't committed to anyone not to resist aggression, nor not to respond to it. As long as the aggression continues, we will confront it, we will respond where and when we decide and are able to. Thank you very much. Marvel. Our people remain unsafe, bombed, and destroyed as long as they are being killed. Israeli cities won't be safe either. Thank you. I oppose the Lebanon-Israel ceasefire proposal like Satan's dream in heaven, warning that the communities in northern Israel will not be safe as long as Israeli forces continue operating in Lebanon. Qassem has also rejected direct talks between Lebanon and Israel, absurd, humiliating, and shameful, saying resistance will continue while the occupation remains. And he thanked Iran for its support, saying that Tehran is working for a comprehensive ceasefire in Lebanon. Entonces, so what happens now? Should we go to Beirut, to the bunker where Naim Qassem is, and explain how things work? Or does Donald J. Trump have objections to this? Because maybe Trump doesn't want Naim Qassem to be taken out. Israel was on its way to doing that. What's the problem? Israel or Hezbollah? And Israel wants to be left alone in the north so that the people of Metula, Kiasimona, and Kafaros can live in peace. So they can go out every evening, some to watch the sunset in Upper Galilee, others to watch the sunset over the Mediterranean and live in peace. It seems that can't happen there. For some reason, it's paranormal. There can't be peace. Then we'll have to find the paranormal element and perform a ritual so they'll stop bombing northern Israel. Marlies, thank you so much. Star contributor yours. Thank you so much, new member. Dayanam is definitely the best info channel, whether people like it or not. Let's give a like to this great channel. Greetings to this TV from New Jersey. Good morning. Save our soldiers. Now, I had police strategies. Don't mess with freedom. Damn it. Everything I say is verified information and I show it. An image, as these people like to say, kills the narrative. Alpha Kuka. Blessings to everyone. I offer my condolences and stand with you, the Spanish people and soldiers' families. May you know no more sorrow, reject censorship, support truth. Domingo, remember from Calimero Strategies, Minister Roble. Yes, Calimero. Hey, that's why I call her little chick. Calimera. Domingo, what an incompetent woman and how much they hate Israel. To death. She has intense hatred for Israel. She blocked you after you mentioned the picnic, so now you can't be heard. It was a server error. I'm not sure if they'll keep blocking us. It's likely they'll keep doing it. Well, last night we already had trouble with the show we did. It seemed like it was because of a complaint about some story. I don't even know what. But anyway, it doesn't matter. What difference does it make? Why should we care? What matters is those soldiers' lives and their quick return home. Please. They're Spaniards. They're Spaniards. We can't go on like this. We can't go on like this. It's unbelievable. Family, please share this live stream as much as possible. So everyone finds out. I'll share some breaking news as I say goodbye. An FPV drone. One of those first-person view drones. I mean, first-person view. The ones that have a cable. A drone with a cable. And Hezbollah managed a direct hit on the vehicle of the chief of the IDF Northern Command, Major General Rafi Milo, during a field visit to southern Lebanon. Israeli media reported it today after weeks under a gag order. Milo and a general staff officer had exited the vehicle seconds earlier. They nearly took his life. The Northern Command chief. Be careful with Hezbollah. Why? Anything can happen. Family. Now we're going with JR in quotes. I also think he has more information. He's going to tell us more things. Maybe I'll stop by there later and we'll continue with this topic. See you here on Military Strategies. That's a greeting. No.